All right, so here we go. Did a video last night with Pamela from Higher Vibrations. She's talking about current barometers, current energies, what's kind of going on. And I was just kind of quiet, listening, just being guided on, I kept wanting to go back to my human experience, stay out of the quantum. I don't know why, I just was. And I think that's because I know that universally we've had some changing of the guard, energetic changes. We're having different weather patterns come in that are blowing out old weather patterns. We have stored memories in our physical and our mental and our emotional bodies that are coming to the surface to be purged, released, dissolved, and let go, just as Mother Earth is, just as we're wringing and squeezing out all these other things that are going on a quantum and beyond quantum level. But I say to myself, all right, well, sometimes I just can't get caught up in all this unknown. And so as often as I try to teach myself to be present, there's a part of my physical that's either tired or it's frustrated or just is freaking bored. Because you have to understand, I've been on this roller coaster ride a lot longer than many others have. I mean, I literally sold everything, packed up and downsized back in 06, 07. Did it again in 2011. Did it again in 2014. Did it again when I took over another house in 2016. Did it again in 2021. So I'm literally down to a bedroom and a few belongings. So kind of been there, done that on a lot of this recycling. So I've gotten to the point where I'm getting a little frustrated. And my human is saying it just needs to stretch. It wants to expand. It wants to go beyond the stalemate, so to speak. And then, I think I've told you guys, I left a job that was just, I took a job thinking I could overcome it. I could overcome some things. And I just noticed right away there was some sandpaper on my cheek. And ouch, it would burn sometimes. Sometimes I would try to protect it, put some smooth coating between it by energetically aligning it. And then this particular person at my job would come along and until it was starting to consume me. And I kept asking Spirit for clues. Am I supposed to just leave this job and just trust that this door needs to close, another one needs to open? But I had to do it Sandy style. I'd have to get through the day and go, well, did I make it? Yeah, I can do another day. Oh, there was a little hope today. Oh, maybe the next day would be better. And next thing you know, weeks, a couple months go by, and you say to yourself, self, this is ridic. This is ridic. You know better than to sacrifice and be consumed by something you cannot change. What you gonna do about it? So of course you close the door and then you're waiting for other doors to open. So as you're going through the process of toddling and looking and putting feelers out there, you may land on something that has a possibility of a door being open. But as we know in today's world, we've got to go through the onboarding process. And so that means your onboarding is in the control dials of everybody else behind that job scene. And so you're kind of in this limbo land of not knowing what. But Spirit keeps saying, trust, Sandy, trust. Even if this door opens, it's a temporary door that's going to spur onto something else, and so on and so forth. So I keep trusting. And my guides have been kind of quiet, so I'm wondering if we're getting a changing of guard there. And so I can only be in the physical avatar that I'm in. So I can only work with the systems within the systems. And I have to be always manning my dial. And sometimes that's a lot of work and I get tired and I just want to okay, that's enough for the day, right? Or I'll go to sleep and next thing I know, I'm at the sink in the morning. I'm like, where did time just go? How did I just get here? I feel like I just turned the lights out. So as I'm doing this chat with Pamela, my mind is going about how quiet things have been. And then I realized yesterday morning, I had a dream. I woke up and I was interacting with people. I was interacting and I remember everything, every detail of it. And then I awaken and then I'm in my alpha and into my beta gotta go state. And then last night I go to sleep and I wake up and my shoulder's bothering me. So I'm rubbing my shoulder, I'm tossing, I'm turning, I'm holding the massager on it. And I'm like, I'm wide awake and I'm like, I dare not look at this clock because it's going to set me over the edge. And so I hung around for a little while. Then I finally looked at the clock and it said 4 o'clock. And I knew I'd been tossing for a while. And then I was like, well, I got about 2 hours something before I have to get up. Please don't let me go super duper deep, but just let me doze so I don't feel so drowsy all day. So I laid there in my bed, getting comfy, trying to breathe, trying to release, trying to let go. When all of a sudden, it's like the lenses of my eyes change. And I see a being over by my plants. And as I look at this being, he's bent down and he's like doing something with dials, almost like there was a big TV there. And I said, hey, you know I could see you. This being doesn't turn or look. And I said, hey, you do know I can see you. And then he looked and he stood up. And then a girl walked over. And then she begins to talk to me. And she begins to tell me. Now this one doesn't have a face. The other one didn't have a face. That's how I know they were human looking, but probably were not of this dimension, of course. And so, or of the descent of human. They could be another light being family. So she comes over and sits down on the bed and begins to tell me what I need to do. And she's telling me all this stuff. And then she's like, you're going to need such and such. And I'm like, elderberry? Like, what? Is that like elderberry? She's no. And she kept saying like poson or something that started with a P. And I kept saying back, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I've never heard of that. But then she said, oh, you'll know. When the time is right, you'll know what to reach for. And in my mind's eye, right there and then, I realized so many things are happening during your dream state that are designing how you're moving forward. And they're working through different scenarios of different situations, problem solving, and giving you different angles. Because I wonder how I just know what I know when I know it without a doubt. So I just was looking at it, I was like, okay. And then I looked at her and I said, and I was feeling this deep love, this deep, deep love the longer she talked to me. And I said to her, swear to God, I said, I'm not a lesbian, but I really need a hug. And I like jumped on her. And I like held on to her for dear life, just hugging her and wanting to exchange this energy. And then that disappeared and I'm still laying on my back. And then a woman appears and beautiful black skin, big dark eyes, what you may consider African American or whatever. She pulls my covers up and says, it's time to get up. Just as sweet as she could be. And just as she said that, my alarm went off. And I'm like wide awake during this whole thing. There's just this lens, this film that's different. I can't describe. It's the only way I know how to describe when I go to different dimensions. And so, and this is something I've worked on for a couple years with my site, with my guides, by the way. And the alarm goes off, and then my eyes start to focus, and she's gone. And I reached down and pulled my covers up, picked up my phone, hit snooze. And then I laid there. And I was like, okay, what was that all about? And then there was a part of me that wanted to go back in it, but I couldn't because my snooze was about to go off. And then I had a meeting with one of my little people who I go and pick up, take to school, and we have a lot of conversation during that time. So I couldn't be late for that. So I thought, okay. And so brushed my teeth, got myself ready this morning. And I'm one of those mindset that, well, you know what? Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it was, whoever they were, however I felt during it, however I feel now, if I'm to know more, you will let me know more. And I would hear in a kind of my own thought download, there's more to come with this type of interaction for you. There's more to come with this type of interaction for you. So it's not the first time that I've had beings come right there. Like I feel like I could just touch them. I'm talking to them like I could just touch. But I know that they're not in full, they're not really a hologram, if you would say, but kinda like that, right? And I've had some where I've touched. I had an ET from another planet come, and I touched. Very, very cold. So anyway, that's a whole other ball game that we can go through again if you guys are interested in learning more about my experiences with that. And I think the reason why, I've been told in many of my own personal sessions from my own personal self-development with different healers, that I am to tell my stories. I am to share my experiences because they're going to either start occurring to you, or you've had them occur, or you know someone that it's occurring to, or you're about to hear someone say that, and you're going to know that it's okay, and then you can always connect them with me, or you'll know what to do yourself. So I do know that a lot of the dark obstacle courses are completely out of the way now. So I do know that. So right now what I have in my room is like a symbol that floats through the air. And I always know it's a guide because it'll give me an outline of hair. So I have one floating in my room, like right here. I turn the camera, but it's not going to show it. It's just something that I see. So it's just confirmation of what it is that I'm saying, and that there's full support here. So anyway, I was saying that the darker obstacle courses, it's been worked on for quite some time. And so we don't really need to worry about the dark rising and trying to control us. And we can simply say, I am fully protected in the divine love that I am. I am fully protected in the divine love that I am. Say it with me. I am fully protected in the divine love that I am. Say it again. I am fully protected in the divine love that I am. Now that just came through, and I just said it that way. So I am fully protected in the divine love that I am, period. You don't have to stomp your feet. You don't have to scream and yell. You can just know. And to say this periodically throughout the day, say it around loved ones, they are fully protected in the divine love that they are and that we are. They are fully protected in the divine love that they are, that we are. Okay? Now this is just all coming straight through me. you know, and then I'll forget everything that I say. Anywho, be in the experiences, let me mumble a little bit, of what it is that's occurring so that you can really feel your body. You can really feel your body. And you can really feel what's stored. And you can say, I love you. It's okay. You can come up and out. You're safe. I don't need you stored in there anymore. You can come out. You can teach me whatever you want to teach me. And you can go. It's okay. And that goes for the emotions, the roller coaster of emotions. Because energy is always in motion. It's never stagnant. It may slow down in some places. And it may feel like it's stalling. But technically, if you were to see it in, I don't know, sonic light, you would see that it's ever streaming. So you cannot control what the collective is doing. You cannot be mindful of what is going on in the quantum because you have no freaking real clue what is going on there. You cannot always pay attention to what everyone else is reporting through what everyone else is reporting, no matter which way they are reporting, whether they're saying this is happening, that's happening, whether they're predicting this, predicting that. It doesn't matter. What matters is, what do you fill your vessel with? And are you ready to cleanse your vessel of all the stuff that it doesn't need anymore in order to sustain on this higher, lighter level of a divine chord of frequency? The answer is, you don't need most of the stuff. Trust me, you don't. You need some interchanging clothes, some interchanging foods. You need a roof over your head, a decent car to drive. But, you know, all the luxury stuff, it doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't. It doesn't make you who you are. You make whatever you do what it is. Fact. Fact. So reverse it. I make the clothes look fantastic. I create this. I create that. Get in that driver's seat. Own thyself, bitches. Own thyself. Get with it. All right? Keep it simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. You get into complicated, that's when you get into the tumbling tumbleweeds, because you can't understand anything. You can't unravel anything, because it's like there's so many things that are going to be beyond your own comprehension, and you may get in a different translator coming in because it may be a frequency that's coming in that you haven't given it time to translate into information that you do understand, because you're so busy out here trying to take in stuff that's just not on the level where you are. That's like a kindergartner taking, quantum physics. That's going to make them want to run away from school. All right, like, subscribe, and share. Please leave me a message. Let me know how you feel about what I'm talking about. Let me know if you want to hear more stories. Just let me know how you're doing, because you matter. All right, bye.